Now, people often say, well, why is it dumb not to take a deposit? What's wrong with it? Because you're going to get paid and you can have a contract in place. Well, that's all well and good, but you can have a contract in place and they can break that. They can breach the contract and not pay you. You can take them to court and you can win. And if they still don't pay you, you're going to take them back to court. And then if you get the bailiffs in and the rest of it, they might declare bankruptcy. In which case you get pennies on the pound or nothing. Because the revenue gets first dibs of anything, and then the rest of the creditors and the banks and things. So you're right at the bottom of the pile as a supplier. So you might get only pennies on the dollar, you might get nothing at all, and you've lost all that fucking time. But the biggest thing is this: if you don't take a deposit up front, you are acting as a bank. You are extending a line of credit to your client. You're basically giving them an unsecured loan. It's an unsecured loan with no due diligence at all, not even a form to fill in, no check of their assets, no form of due diligence at all. You are working for free on the basis of a promise to pay you later. Think about that for a minute and how dumb that is. You are working for free, extending a line of credit. You're acting like a bank. You've no due diligence, not even gotten to fill in a form, and you're working for free on the promise of maybe being paid later, if they're happy with your work.
Yeah, they then evaluate it and hold your money hostage. Endless reevaluations, revisions, even not reevaluations. And it happens far too often in the world of construction, especially with these people that deal with back to property people, property developers.
That's what I found.
Hey, you found your pen. Where was it? Under your feet.
It's stuck in the arm of the chair. It hadn't hit the floor. Anyway, yeah.
It happens far too often, especially with property developers who are often large expenditures all over the place, and they're waiting for the bank loan to come in from the remortgage or whatever. And they're just praying and hoping that it's going to come in time to pay your fucking invoice. So a lot of people get you to work when they don't even have the fucking money. Yeah. They're hoping it's going to come from somewhere else.
Yeah. And let's be honest about this. Most of these people are probably not some will be, and maybe more than I would think, because my autism makes me quite a trusting person, because I have no way of judging them otherwise. I'm not a good judge of character, so I tend to be trusting. The other way to go would be to distrust everybody, and I think that's a miserable way to live. So I'd rather be trust people and then just maybe get let down. It's not a big deal, rather than the other way around. So most of these people probably don't mean to cheat you at all, but when it comes to it, they don't feel that bad about it either. And think of the criteria you're basing acceptance on. Because you were saying about if you're not completely happy with the work. Well, what does that even mean? No, there's no objective measure there. If you're going to do this, at least have a fucking contract that says the work will be done to within the standards, and obviously all these things have got standards, to within regulations, and you accept those regulations as being the metric we'll measure by. But because people are so insistent on getting the money in, that's what they're focused on, they'll breach all kinds of common sense rules just to get the contract. I mean, Anthony, the QS we work with, my mate, Anthony Manson, he sees this all the time. Subbies desperate for the work, glossing over and ignoring huge swathes of big fucking involved contracts with retentions and penalties, just thinking, it's all right, it doesn't matter. It reminds me, right, of when I got divorced the first time. It's going back 30 years or more now.
You said you was too trusting.
And my ex, in kind of the back and forth, right at the last minute, her solicitor says, just almost tried to slip it in the paperwork of 5p a year spousal maintenance. And I said, what's all that about? Oh, it's only 5p, it doesn't matter. So I said, if it's only 5p and it doesn't matter, why do you want it? And I knew what the answer was. It means once the divorce goes through, maintenance can be increased, but only if it's already there. So the 5p could be increased to any amount, but it cannot be added later if it's not in the beginning.
I said,
this is just a cynical attempt to have leverage further down the line. You're not going to have it. No. No, if
Wow.
you insist on that, we start right from the beginning again.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's what it was.
Wow.
He
Wow.
thought either I was stupid or my own solicitor was stupid, but I just said no fucking way.
Wow.
I was only
Wow.
5p. Yeah.
Well,
I said, it was only 5p. Why do you want it? And I said,
just
I know
take
why.
you to court straight away to get this loser's only paying me 5p a year, and the judge would immediately order more. Wow.
Well, possibly not immediately
wow.
because it's just been done, but certainly down the line you get a pay increase, maybe your parents die and you make money, or you become successful in life. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just said, no, if you're going to insist on this, we go right back to square one with these negotiations. And they soon dropped that fucker. So, but it's a little bit like that, isn't it? You know, if these things don't matter in the contract, if these things don't matter in the contract, like retentions and penalties, why have them in? They obviously do matter because you've insisting on putting them in there. So let's discuss this. Let's fucking iron this out. But now people do it. Oh no, I've got to get the work in. It'll be okay. He's a really nice bloke. You know? Yeah, I know he's a really fucking nice bloke. But when it comes to him losing his house and you losing yours, we all know which way it's going to go.
Yeah.
And let's be fair, we'd all do that.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. If it's him or me, it's always going to be him.
Yeah.